Hi, today I'm going to do a chopping block video, my first one with the Tarot of the Divine on my chopping block. If you have no idea what the chopping block means or a deck on a chopping block, I encourage you to watch a previous video of mine that I will link in the top right corner in the eye. It is where I go through my entire collection and divide all of my decks into 3 piles. Hard stays, ones that I definitely want to keep. Soft stays, ones that I'm thinking of keeping or probably want to keep but am not super sure of. And chopping block ones decks that I think I might be getting rid of. My Tarot of the Divine I put in the chopping block category because I just was not sure. This is the bag that I keep it in, so let's open it up. I made this bag myself, by the way. I do think that there are a couple of these left. Not with the frilly top though, those have sold out. So this is what the deck looks like. It's really pretty. I love the artwork. Okay, so what I like about this deck and why I bought it is that it is inspired by not necessarily fairy tales, but stories, myths, folklore from all around the world. And a lot of these stories I am unfamiliar with. And though that is super interesting because it means that I get to learn something new, it also means that I have to learn something new and that I have to put time in it. And right now I have a lot going on. I am a 2nd grade teacher. That is an internship of mine. And that internship I need to graduate so that I actually get my official teacher's degree. I also upload 3 videos a week here on this channel, and I'm trying to do live streams here. I'm wanting to do shorts. I'm trying to revive my other YouTube channel because in the end I do think that content creation is what I want to do. But that means that I haven't really given this deck a lot of love because I am always afraid to grab this deck in case I don't vibe with the images, and I feel like if I can't read with it intuitively, then I don't want to grab it. I like decks that I can grab, that I instantly know how to read with. But when I did readings with this deck this month, because it's also one of the decks that I'm working with this month, which I'll also link a video on that was a previously done live stream from last week. When I used this deck for a pick a card reading that is also already up, that I will also link, I found that it was super easy to read and I barely even had to check my notes, which is something that I don't mind doing, but that I do is to check my notes to see if I miss anything. But I found my readings with this deck were so intuitive and really easy. So yeah, in the meantime, I flipped through the entire deck. So what I'm gonna do, and I saw this on Katie Flowers, her YouTube channel, in a couple of videos, I'm gonna go through this deck and divide the cards in 3 categories. Ones that I hate, ones that I love, and ones that I'm sort of neutral on, I guess. So I'm gonna do love, it's okay, and hate. So okay, so looking at this pile, it is so clear that this is the biggest pile, the ones with the cards that I love. And let's see which pile is bigger. Definitely the like is bigger than the hate. So there are only a couple of cards that and I don't hate them. It's just that, and this is not about the stories behind these cards. I hope that you know that this is not intended to bash the stories or the origins of the stories. It's just, or the artwork or the creator in general. This is just that looking at these images, the card meanings don't immediately come to me. Like with the Wheel of Fortune, of course, I don't know the story behind this, so I'll have to read the story to know that. Then with the 7 of Coins, I don't know this story either, so this image doesn't make sense to me. the King of Wands, I have a very hard time connecting to animal energy in decks like these. I have a very easy time connecting to animal energy in decks like my Magical Dogs Tarot because I feel a connection to dogs. But this is a Phoenix, I believe, and I am not necessarily connected to Phoenix. The Three of Coins doesn't make sense to me because to me this is about collaboration. But of course, I don't know the story. Page of Swords doesn't make sense to me. And I have a hard time with court cards still, and sometimes I don't, depending on the card, depending on the deck. But here it doesn't make sense. Of course, again, I don't know the stories, but these don't make sense. The Justice card is one that I find hard, but maybe just knowing the story will help. The same with this one and the same with this one. However, when I look at some of the cards that I love, I love these images. I believe, I don't know the English word for this story, but it's the one that's being pricked by the finger and she goes into sleep. I have read that story, so that was quite interesting. So talking about the stories, I'm gonna put these away for a second. So when I previously did that video where I said that the Tarot of the Divine was going to be on my chopping block, somebody commented and said, you know, there is this book Beneath the Moon, and I already knew that it existed, and that one has all of the same images of all of the cards, but with the story in a condensed, summarized version. And I knew that that one existed, but it was like, it is so annoying that I have to get that book separately instead of just upping the price of this deck and including it as a guidebook. However, I thought, you know what? I really want to give this deck a shot because whenever I read with it, I do enjoy the readings and it does come easily, but somehow I just am not always pulled to read with this. So I got the book and it doesn't fit in the frame because it's quite long, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And this is by the same creator as the deck, Yoshi Yoshitani, and we have images of all of the cards. And the thing that I am a little bit annoyed by here is that in the table of contents we don't see the names of the cards, we just see the names of the stories, and the stories are not in order of the tarot deck. So what I just realized is that I did put the tarot deck in the right order for this book, for this video, and I just sort of divided them into piles and made it out of order again. So that is awesome. I tried to sort of put them back into order, but anyway, this is the High Priestess, and it doesn't say anywhere here on the page which one this is. And if I pull this card in a reading and I want to read the story with it, what I'd have to do is grab the original guidebook that comes with this, and it has the name of the story, and I'll have to look that up in the guidebook. So that kind of sucks, but it's okay. It's okay. I do plan on reading every story. So with this one, it is a Turkish story, and it's the to me, I know it as 1001 Nights because there was a song about it. And sometimes I find that these stories are really great, but I don't always see how they necessarily correspond with the card. In this case, it is a story about two sons of a sultan, Shahryar and Shah, and they both married two beautiful women, and then brother Shah caught his wife cheating on him with another man, and in his rage he had killed both of his wife and the other man. So now the brother Shah is super suspicious of women, and he discovered that his brother's Shahryar's wife was also cheating on him. So Shahryar ordered the execution of his wife, and from then on he married a new woman every night, and he killed her each morning before she could betray him. Until he met, I don't know how to pronounce this, Scheherazade, who asked for one last wish to see her younger sister. And when the sister arrived, she begged Scheherazade for a story, and she told a story, super witty, super interesting, so that the brother Shahryar allowed her to live another night to finish her story. And she spent 1001 nights telling stories that were romantic, epic, moralistic, ridiculous, and righteous. And through this story, the brother forgot his hate and became a compassionate monarch again, and he relearned how to love with this Scheherazade. And he taught these lessons to his brother, Shah, who also forgave and eventually married the younger sister. So I'm guessing that the person here on the card is Scheherazade. I think so, pretty sure. So she is smart, she has wisdom, and almost this like survivor instinct, or she volunteered to become Shahryar's next wife. So she sort of already had this plan for greatness, for healing almost. So I really like that. But it's a little different from the original card meanings of the High Priestess, but it definitely gives it another layer. Let's look at one of these cards that I didn't like. Ansani was a tricksy spider who would constantly get himself in and out of trouble. There are many stories of Ansani and the mischief he caused, but one of the most famous is Ansani and the World's Stories. In the beginning of the world, the father sky, Niame, had all of the world's stories locked up possessively. Ansani the spider thought that this was very boring. He used his sticky string to climb all the way up in the sky to Niame's home and asked him to sell his stories. Niame was impressed with the spider for reaching him when no other animal could, but he still refused to sell the stories. After debating for a while, Niame finally agreed to give Ansani the stories if he captured and brought back 4 of the most dangerous creatures in the world. Onini the python, Osebi the leopard, the Mboro hornets, and the invisible Moati. With Onini, Ansani pretended to doubt the python's true length. He then offered to tie him straight to a stick to measure him, which subdued the python. Osebo the leopard, Ansani dug a pit that the leopard fell into. He then offered him webbing to climb out and hopelessly tangled the giant cat with his string. With the Mboro hornets, Ansani faked a rainstorm. He then offered them safety inside a hollowed-out gourd, capturing them. With the Moati, Ansani made a sticky doll that ate sweets. He then manipulated the doll into being rude, so the Moatia slapped the doll and got stuck. Ansani returned to Niame with Onini tied to a stick, Osebo caught in the web, the Mboro trapped inside the stoppered gourd, and the Moatia glued to a stick doll. Niame had to concede defeat and made Ansani the master of all stories. A little note here is that Ansani's outfit here is the kente cloth with a pattern that reads, I'm not gonna pronounce that, meaning sooner or later you will get into the path of the other. So this is still to me a little strange. I do feel like this is like making your own luck happen. I think that that is more the moral of this story, or the meaning how I would get it from this story into what I see for the Wheel of Fortune. So now I want to do a practice reading, and I'm gonna do the what, where, how tarot spread. I got that for my Mermaid Tarot. I'm gonna look at what one thing needs my attention right now, where is my focus best spent, and how does this one thing help me with my current situation. So I'm gonna do this reading for myself just because I want to know how it resonates with me. First, I would like one card for what one thing needs my attention right now. Okay, so I got 2, of course. I have the 2 of Wands. That one sort of popped out earlier today. And then the Magician card. Now I would like one card for where my focus is best spent. 9 of Coins. This deck isn't necessarily super easy in my hands, but I manage. And now I would like one card for how does this one thing help me with my current situation. And I have the Page of Cups. So looking first at the 2 of Wands and the Magician card. So I got these cards for what one thing needs your attention. I'm guessing I need 2 things of attention. Oh no. But with the 2 of Wands, it's about figuring out my path. So that is where I have been putting a lot of attention, how to move forward. And the Magician is, to me, using the resources that you have available, using your talents. So I think that here I need to look very closely to what are my talents and how can I move forward on my path, and what path do I want to take. And that I gotta say, that is something that does have my attention right now. And then where is my focus best spent? And with the 9 of Coins, I can't help but think finances, how to figure things out financially. And that is something that also has been on my mind a lot. And I think I definitely need to watch my finances because of a couple of reasons. I don't currently have a job. I am a teacher and that is my internship, and I'm doing that for 3 days a week. And I'm about to do that for 4 days a week for my final internship part so I can actually graduate. And then when I've graduated, I want to do this content creation thing and tarot reading full time basically. So yeah, I have been thinking about how all of this is going to work out financially, and I think I need to look at my own finances a little bit better and to not overspend too much. I think that is an important reminder for me. And then how does this one thing help you with your current situation? I have the Page of Cups, and I honestly don't really know what to make of this, so I'm gonna grab the guidebook that comes with this deck. So I think how this needs to be interpreted for me is that I don't stay too hung up on the dreaming part. I don't stay too hung up on what I want to do and how I can do it, and not necessarily stay on the dreamy idealistic side, but also the practical side, that I just shouldn't forget that. Otherwise I will be all about the dreams and I won't be able to make it financially. And even though that's not really fun to think about, the finances of it all, it is really important because I do rent an apartment and I need to be able to pay that. I'm gonna be in a huge student debt after I am done, with my school, with my university degree. So that is sort of a short reading, and I do find the court cards hard to interpret, but I think that is because I haven't read the stories yet, but I definitely plan on reading the stories. So let me put this back into the bag that I made. So overall, am I gonna keep this deck? I think you can guess that yes, I am definitely keeping this deck because I do love most of the cards. I do love most of the images, and I connect with most of the images. And the only thing that was holding me back was getting this book. But you know what? Now I have it and now I can read it. I really, really want to take some more time to read this book because I've been doing a lot of other things and not focusing on like my actual tarot study. I've just been practicing a lot, and though that is also very good, I definitely want to read some more tarot books, and I want to read this book to really connect with this deck and maybe even bring this deck into decks I want to work with in February as well. So for now, I would love to hear from you if you have this deck. Did you like this video? If there's anything you would like to see differently about these chopping block decks, deck videos, definitely let me know in the comment down below. Of course, this one is quite different because I knew that I wasn't gonna get rid of it, but there was something missing with this deck and I didn't really know what it is, and I think that this is it. So for now, if you want to book a personal one-on-one tarot reading with me, you can do so through my coffee shop or my Etsy shop. Both links are in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos on tarot, oracle, all that kind of stuff, subscribe to this channel. I would love to have you here, and I hope to see you next time.